Coming up on William Penn News Now. Sodexo is talking improvements again with students on campus. See what changes are in the works. The health and life science students are starting their research for the April symposium. And William Penn Athletics made a huge announcement on Monday. Find out what 3 new sports are coming to Penn in the near future. All these stories and more coming in right here on William Penn News Now. And thank you for joining us. I'm Dino Landucci IV, and this is William Penn News Now. William Penn students have been upset recently with the food available at the cafeteria, and Sodexo is listening to their concerns. Reporter Mason Schrader has the story.
The William Penn cafeteria has had some controversy recently with the quality of food served there. Senior Daniel Hernandez says the lack of variety is causing an issue with students.
I'm about to go to spring break, I'm trying to get lean, I'm trying to look good, and there's not a variety of foods that, an athlete can eat, like proteins. I mean, sometimes a big company, when you've been successful for so many years, you don't want to change. I believe, that's one of the things they need to do in order to, have happy customers.
However, Cafeteria General Manager Jeff Halverson is aware of students' concerns and is working on solutions.
Some of the big feedback that we get is that they want more healthy, more fresh items, and we started actually today over on our chef's table where we have the student can choose a variety of vegetables and then some different proteins that are there, and then whatever the sauce may be, they'll be able to essentially build their own.
Halverson is also working to fix foods already served and expects the cafeteria to keep getting better over time.
Our weak point in the caf, it would really be our consistency in the quality of food that we present, but it has gotten better. We've done some more training. Over Christmas break, we worked with our cooks individually on what our expectations are. You've seen it in how we present our food. We'll combo some items just so that it even just brings some color, some better color than just stuck in a pan and put out. Just have it just a better presentation.
For William Penn News Now, I'm Mason Schrader.
The Health and Life Science Division is starting their animal research for the annual symposium happening in April. WPNN reporter Jimmy Ott has the details.
This will be the 18th year that the Health and Life Science Division seniors will be presenting their findings in the annual research symposium on campus. Assistant Professor of Biology Pete Aralde says this gives students a chance to get hands-on experience working in the field.
You do all this field work for months and months, and you're slogging through the trees, and you're getting rained on and snowed on and mosquito bit, and sometimes you kind of lose track of, like, why am I out here doing this, And then when you finally pull it all together and you do the statistical analysis and you come up with some results, and then you're drawing those conclusions and you're like, yeah, okay, this is our original hypothesis, and here's why we're getting these results, and this sort of big picture all gels together.
And the ability to work with the equipment they'll use when they graduate.
So they get to learn about using different equipment, different computer software, statistical techniques that maybe they're not going to get in the class.
Professor of Biology Janet Ewert, who's been helping with the symposium since the beginning, hopes the event will highlight William Penn's academic accomplishments.
Penn likes to publicize its athletics, which is great and all, and I support our sports teams, but we want to say, yes, we have academic stuff going on here too.
Both Ewert and Aralde say the real importance of the symposium is to give students a chance to show their findings in a professional way, which will give them an edge once they go out into the real world.
It kind of tests, not only what they've done in their research, but their ability to interpret it and understand it, and to have enough background on it beyond just whatever it actually says on their poster to be able to answer a question someone might have.
The students will reveal their findings on April 19th, which the professors hope will inspire the next group of students to get involved, because they see science as something that
is one of those things where you add little bits incrementally, and each one of those increments adds up to a much bigger picture.
For WPNN, I'm Jimmy Ott.
And for those of you worried about how the animals in the research are being treated, Professor Ewert assured WPNN that the students follow a code of ethics to make sure the animals are treated as best as possible. William Penn women's basketball player Vashti Wabarocha hit 1,000 points in her Statesman career on February the 7th during an 89-47 victory over Peru State last Wednesday in the Heart of America play. The junior is happy that she reached the huge milestone, but will use it as motivation for herself and her team, who are trying to reach the national tournament.
It's one of the many steps that I wanted to reach in order to where I need to be. It's a nice accomplishment to have, but in the back of my mind, it's just another pat on your back, and then get back to work and finish what we have to do. There's so many more things that I can do and that our team can do, and this is just one of the things that I can be happy for.
The women are on a roll with a 7-game winning streak after defeating Culver Stockton on Wednesday 75-68. And the huge win against number 5 Mid-American Nazarene last week leave the Statesmen tied with Central Methodist on top of the league standings at 14-2 in league play. They will be back in action this Saturday on February 17th at 2 p.m. against Clark for Senior Day as the season starts coming to a close. And to no one's surprise, another team on top of the leaderboards this week is men's basketball, who, like the women, are 14-2 in conference after a tight 96-90 win over Culver Stockton. The men's team fell to a third-place national ranking after the loss against Graceland earlier this month, but are still 2 games ahead in conference play with only 3 games left to play. The Statesmen are looking for the 3rd consecutive conference championship and another bid into the national tournament, but Clark University is standing in their way as these 2 teams square off tomorrow at 4 p.m. Baseball starts their season for the opening today as last week's trip to Oklahoma was canceled due to weather. The Statesmen are looking to bounce back from an underwhelming season at going just 19-28 last year and 8-22 in conference. Returning shortstop Julian Viejas and starting pitcher Austin Neff are looking to lead this team to a playoffs and ultimately a conference championship year, which has eluded the Statesmen since 2013 when they were still a part of the Midwest Collegiate Conference. Helping them will be newcomers Raheem Hampton and Nathan Ball, who will provide some power from the first base and catching positions, as well as new pitchers Isaac Luth and Tanner Hamlin, providing strong arms out of the bullpen. Hamlin or Ball are just 2 of 8 players on this Statesman team who are known as utility players, meaning that they can play multiple positions on the field. Head coach Mike Laird thinks that will be one of the team's greatest strengths this year as the long season is just beginning.
A lot of guys that are capable of playing multiple positions, which was a little tough last year. It really stretched us when we had somebody out of the lineup. It was kind of difficult to fill in and to feel like we were adequate, that we could get the job done sometimes. But we got a lot of guys that are fairly good athletes and they can play different spots.
Baseball starts their season today at 2:30 in Joplin, Missouri against Viterbo University and play through the weekend facing Doane, William Woods, and Waldorf University. And as baseball season starts, so does softball as they try to improve from a 24-29 season last year. The Statesmen played in Fort Worth, Texas for the annual Cowtown Classic, and although the weekend was cut short due to the weather, some returners and newcomers shone through the clouds, earning the Statesmen their first 2 wins of the season against Bethany and Bacone College. Senior Roxana Jensen started the year and her William Penn career off with a bang, as the first 2 runs for the Statesmen came from her first at-bat ever, as she blasted a 2nd-inning home run, tying Bethany at 2 apiece. Bethany then pulled ahead and extended the lead 6-3, but key hits from freshman Lexi Reza and Jensen set up returning sophomore Sonia Reddy for a walk-off single, beating Bethany College 7-6. Newcomers Shelby Copley and Carly Rose Perry put in an impressive pitching performance, with Copley striking out 4 in 5 1/3 innings, and while Perry came in and shut the door, going 1 2/3 without allowing a run. The second game of the day did not go as planned for the Statesmen as they dropped a 17-2 contest against Bellevue University, who received votes, but returning junior Katie Springer saved the weekend by putting in a marvelous performance on the rubber, pitching a 2-hit shutout with 7 strikeouts and no walks, leading the Statesmen to a 5-0 lead over Bacone College. Softball will be back in action February 23rd in Batesville, Arkansas, as they take on Lyon College for a 4-game non-conference series. William Penn announced on Monday that 3 new sports teams will be headed to campus in a couple years. Cheyenne Hawkins has the story as athletic director Nick Rule makes the announcement.
We're really excited to be able to announce that we'll be adding men's and women's lacrosse and men's volleyball for the 2019-2020 school year.
This exciting news is another step in the right direction for William Penn University and the athletics department to try and increase enrollment in order to provide the best student experience possible and enhance the student-athlete experience as well. William Penn's decision to add men and women's lacrosse and men's volleyball was based on a number of factors like the rapid emergence into the NAIA scene and within the heart of American Conference. Another factor in the addition of these teams were the facilities already in place, as men's volleyball will be played in the Penn Activities Center due to the low-bearing rafters in the Penn Gymnasium, and lacrosse to be played on the turf at the Lacey Sports Complex. As of right now, men's volleyball will be the 7th team added to the Heart of America Conference, while men and women's lacrosse will be playing in the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference, as the 4th team to join with hopes of the creation of a Heart of America Lacrosse Conference. Students have shown excitement for the new additions, as junior Haley Freestone had this to say about the new teams.
A lot of kids play these sports and never have the opportunity to go to school for it, so they end up giving up their dreams and their hopes. But I think now adding this one school can help kids across the states follow their dreams and actually get a chance to continue to play their sport.
For William Penn News Now, I'm Cheyenne Hawkes.
And I, for one, am really excited for the new additions to William Penn Athletics. But with that, I'd like to thank you for joining us as we wrap up our broadcast. I also like to thank my director, Jimmy Ott, and crew, Mason Schrader, Cheyenne Hawkes, Arthur Luige, Alexis Corona, and James Rivera. And from all of us here at WPNN, we hope to see you again in 2 weeks as we continue to provide coverage for you. Thanks again, and have a great day at William Penn.